Hello and welcome to this edition of Tech Talk. This is where we bring technical experts from Cisco
to share their insights on specific topics
selectively chosen based on most common conversation themes
on our technology area in community. Our topic for discussion will be
troubleshooting high CPU due to multicast,
understanding Cisco Unified Communications security.
And I've seen this question coming up every now and then.
Very good explanation.
I hope it helps the audience.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Tech Talk. This is where we bring technical experts from Cisco to share their insights on specific topics selectively chosen based on most common conversation themes on our technology area. It's an effort to share valuable insights from Cisco experts on those popular topics. We hope you like it. My name is Satish Chandran and I'm the community manager at Cisco. And today, our topic for discussion will be Simplified Cisco Unified Communication Manager Upgrade Procedures. Our experts joining me today, Amit Singh, a customer support engineer at the Cisco TAC, Bangalore, India. He has over 7 years of experience and his areas of expertise include wireless, Cisco Unified Communication Manager, multi-services, Cisco Unity, and Cisco Unified Contact Center Express. He has been involved in various escalation requests from India, Singapore, and Australia, and is currently working as a technical lead for the voice team here in Bangalore. Welcome, Amit.
Thank you, Satish. Glad to be part of the Drive to 9 Tech Talk.
Thank you. We also have Viraj, Raut, a technical marketing engineer with the solution team in the Collaboration Technology Group. He's involved with video technologies for more than 9 years. He has designed solutions and proposed architectures for video and telepresence to top leading Cisco customers. He contributes to the Solution Reference Network Design Guides, commonly known as the SRND, that documents system designs and best practices. He presents at Cisco Live events on those design topics. As part of the system team, his goal is to make video in Cisco Unified Communication Solutions better and easier to use and deploy. And Viraj is joining us live from San Jose, Cisco office via telepresence. Welcome, Viraj.
Thank you, Satish. It's a pleasure.
So Cisco is running a program called Drive to 9 to help customers upgrade the CUCM to Release 9. So Viraj, can you tell me what is it all about?
The Cisco Communications Manager Release 9, it brings in a lot of new features. It features for video, Jabber, mobility, or other applications. And the Drive to 9 program simplifies the migration process to this particular release. It not only has tools for you to assess what you need, how you can upgrade, but also provides you upgrade documents so that your upgrades are easier.
Thank you, Viraj. Satish, in addition to that, Cisco is ready to support our customers at every level during this Drive to 9 initiative of upgrading the CUCM 9. We are prepared at all the levels, right from licensing, at TAC, and the planning and designing and implementation team, which is the PDI help desk. In licensing team, you can just reach out directly to the licensing or the global licensing office team, where we are prepared. We have a SWAT team available to help you with all the licensing needs which might arise during the migration to 9.x Call Manager. At TAC level, when you're opening up a TAC case, you have a special sub-technology keyword named as Drive to 9 Upgrade, which you can always use to open proactive TAC cases with the CUCM teams. At the PDI, which is specific to partner teams, partners can always reach out proactively for any kind of planning, designing, and implementation requirements. So this is the way, these are the three ways where the customers reach out to Cisco for their needs, and we are all ready to answer any queries regarding 9.1 migration.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell me how do I get started from a technical perspective?
Yeah, sure. The migration resource. This is a great place to start. Now, this is a separate section in the communities.cisco.com dedicated for migration. So you'll get all information about what are the documents that you need to migrate to. So that's in the document section. And not only that, you have also a tools section where you can go and look at either a tool on the iPad or a web-based readiness tool. The readiness tool basically provides you all the information that you need to upgrade. Now with these tools, what it actually does is it assesses your environment, your communication manager, existing communication manager release that you have, and then points you to what you need to do to upgrade. It recommends you the upgrade path, and it provides you a document so that you can take that and then upgrade your existing releases.
That's very true, and thanks Viraj for that. Other than communities.cisco.com, we do have some blogs being available on the Cisco Support community, and some of the documents are also being attached so that you have easy access to this information. Just to add on to the part where we have the iPad application. So as we know, with the advancement in the technology, it's good to have some kind of application which gives you easy access or a quick readiness review of your environment. So this iPad application called CUCM Upgrade Central, and this application will help you to assess your readiness review regarding your environment, and it's available on iPhone or iOS 5.1 and onwards. Later it's supported, and on that application, once you have to enter the credentials of your call manager, it's going to require the OS admin username and password. Once you enter this detail, is going to contact the call manager and pull out your requirements. Based on the result, it will suggest if are we compatible directly for a direct upgrade to CUCM 9.1 or not, or we have to go through a different upgrade method, like it has to be a jump upgrade or it has to be a step upgrade in between. Additionally, it's also going to support or advise you on the hardware. So whenever you are trying to do a readiness review, okay, you have to look at the future requirements also. For example, it's a virtualization world now, and most of the customers, and you will be definitely willing to go to a virtualization environment. So this readiness app is also going to provide you recommendation on what should be the upgraded or the required UCS platform on which you can go on to. Now, definitely, most of the customers, okay, not everyone might be using an iPad application, or iPad may not be allowed on the production environment. So in that case, the web-based tool, what we have, okay, that comes into picture, and definitely I think Viraj can put some insight onto the web-based tool.
Exactly. I have a question there. So like you mentioned iPad, if the iPad cannot access the server, or say customer doesn't allow iPad in their network, what will happen?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, there's a tool on the migration resource that's called the Readiness Assessment Tool. Now what the tool does is, it allows you to take information about your existing, say, environment. And there are two methods you could use for that. You could use the Cisco Unified Reporting Tool, the CURT tool. And that output, you can feed it into this particular tool. And what that allows you to do is, it allows you to tell this particular tool that this is my environment. The tool then can look at that input and provide you the assessment. Now, sometimes the customers may not be willing to share the data. They say that, okay, I cannot share the data along with you. So then what do? So there's a second method. What you could do is you could take the details about the communication manager release version and details about what their servers are. Like, if it's a 7825 H2, for example. And then you could feed that into that particular tool. And once you feed that, the tool then assesses your requirements. It assesses that this is the server and you need to upgrade to release 9. What do I need to do? And it generates a report. Now the report has two sections. It not only says that, okay, you need to upgrade, but it tells you that these are the things that you need to upgrade. It could be the phones. It could be the hardware. And it gives you choices for hardware. What are the servers that you could use? And as far as the software upgrades are concerned, it provides you with an upgrade procedure that's applicable to your environment, what your environment needs. So it actually does this assessment so that it is it pairs up, it is more useful for you. Now, the best advantage is that you don't have to scan through a lot of upgrade documents and say, which method do I choose? I choose this method, I choose this method. It does that decision making for you and provides you with everything that you want for that particular decision. So it makes the best decision for you and hands it out to you.
So can you talk a bit more on the various upgrade available today based on the version of the CUCM?
Yes. So what we did is we looked at all the upgrade guides. We had around 70 plus upgrade guides. And then we simplified them and we shrunk it down to just 6. Now what that enabled us to do is, it enabled us to standardize the documents, but then on the 6, we could actually create a decision tree. We can look at your, say, infrastructure, your existing deployment, and say, for example, look at the hardware. So we can make a judgment on the type of hardware that you have, and since we already know that you have to upgrade to release 9, we know exactly whether your hardware supports a direct upgrade, in which case you can directly upgrade to version 9. You don't need any changes in the hardware. Or if your hardware cannot support a direct upgrade to version 9, then we recommend you an interim release. So that way your hardware still can be used to upgrade to that interim release, and then you could upgrade to 9 by virtualizing before you upgrade to 9. So we have various options in that space. And then what we introduced was another method, the jump upgrade. Now, a lot of feedback was went in to kind of create this particular jump upgrade. But what essentially it did is it allowed you a very easy method where you could create your actual communication manager cluster in an isolated environment while your production was still running. Your users could use their phones. And what it enabled you to do is create that cluster in a parallel isolated environment, and then all you did is once your upgrade was complete, you had to flip over it to the production and you were ready to go. That's it.
Okay. So can you tell us more details about the simplified upgrade procedures that you just mentioned?
Yes. So what we did is I talked to you about the 6 documents. We took the 6 documents and we kind of standardized all the procedures, the look and feel, and all the steps in those particular document. So you'll have 4 common sections in that document. You would have a pre-checklist, you would have a pre-upgrade task, then you will have the upgrade procedures or processes, and then you would have a rollback section. And what it enabled you to do is that it enabled you to have these all documents have a consistent look and feel. So if you look at, say, for example, the direct upgrade, and this is where, remember, you had your hardware that could support all the upgrade all the way. You could then look at the checklist and you could say, that, what do I need to do before I even think about my upgrades? And it would tell you that, okay, you need to think about your virtualization needs. You need to think about all the information that you need for to be collected. For example, passwords and the existing infrastructure. What are the servers that you have? And then it will also tell you what are the softwares that you need. So what do you think, Amit, about the checklist?
Definitely, it's a very good point. And as you correctly mentioned, we used to have a lot of documents which now your customer have to refer to. I think it's definitely 60 must be the number which you're close to. And by simplifying this complete process and coming down to, say, 7 documents, I think that's a big blessing,
right,
to be true. And regarding this checklist, so given the consistency like what we have throughout all the documents, okay, and when you're upgrading, say, from 6.x to 9.x or 7.x to 9.x, or, for example, 8.x to 9.x, all those versions, okay, they talk consistency regarding, so whenever you look at, after you are done with your readiness review, as we talked about the 2 methods, the iPad application and the web readiness tool, you will be getting a migration guide. And this migration guide is mainly being divided into sections like introduction, what exactly the migration process is going to be all about. Then it talks about all the upgrade procedures, checklist, just in case anything goes wrong with the upgrade, how to roll back, the rollback procedures which we're going to talk about. So it contains on a major level, these are the contents. I think I would like to stress a bit more on the upgrade checklist. And at Cisco, I think, and most of our partners and customers do understand the importance of being ready for an upgrade. And we also strongly recommend to go through this checklist so that you're well prepared for any kind of eventuality. We have proper test plans being ready just in case to check the existing functionality. And once we upgrade, we should be able to check what all features were working before and do they continue to work after we have done the migration. Other than that, the checklist talks about, I'll try to pick up like some main points, Viraj. For example, virtualization requirements. That's a hot topic nowadays, and it's very straightforward way. So the virtualization checklist will talk about how you can download the OVA templates, from where you can download the OVA templates, what are these OVA templates, and what all are available, depending on your requirement for CUCM or Unity connection. Other than that, there will be compatibility metrics for sure, because most of the complex environments, they have UCCX, enterprise, recording servers, most of the applications. So the checklist will also have a compatibility metrics link, which can always be referred to. Least, like not one more very most important topic, okay, which we always talk about is licensing. And I think there have been questions around licensing also. So what to do? So as I mentioned before, at Cisco, we are prepared with our SWAT team at our global licensing office to take on any kind of requirements you have when you upgrade to CUCM 9.x. By default, CUCM 9.x runs into a demo mode for 60 days where you can upgrade it phones, they will continue to work. And within 90 days, you have to make sure that you get your proper licenses, or else you will not be able to make any kind of device addition or modifications. But the call routing will continue to work as usual. Then the next point which I can think of, and I think Viraj briefly mentioned, is security tokens. So, or else, like if we have security by default enabled, we have to be very considerate about how am I going to migrate my phones. If it's a flash upgrade or a jump upgrade, I have to be very careful that what's my strategy to migrate my phones from my existing cluster to the new cluster, which I'm going to bring into the production environment. And last but not the least, please do always have a backup of your call manager. It's always good to have in the situations where something goes wrong, and if we have to do some kind of reinstallation. So please do go through the checklist before we attempt to upgrade and have a test plan ready. Over to you, Viraj.
So now to the pre-upgrade procedures. Now what we have recommended a pre-upgrade procedures so that you take care of all the things that need to be done before your actual upgrade. Take, for example, the phone firmware upgrades. Now, we recommend that in the pre-upgrade tasks so that the phones are upgraded well ahead of time before you upgrade your cluster. Now, that way, when your cluster upgrades, all the phone has to do is just re-register to this new cluster. The second thing that we recommend is to clear out any logs or try to optimize on the configuration. Now, this makes your upgrade process a bit more smoother, right? And now, where we have the upgrade procedures. What we have in the upgrade procedures are that if you have, say, for example, the direct upgrade, then the upgrade procedure gives you a list, or it gives you steps and tells you that if your hardware supports a direct upgrade, then you can do the upgrade all the way to the release 9, and then you can virtualize. So it tells you how to virtualize to 9 the release, and that is your upgrade there and there itself. If your direct upgrade is already on a virtualized environment, so you're ahead of the rest of the crowd and you're virtualized, then it allows you to upgrade, or it tells you the procedure to upgrade directly to release 9. If it's a high availability upgrade document, then you will see again in the high availability document, remember we have identified your server that cannot be upgraded all the way to 9. So we'll recommend you an interim release. So you can upgrade to, say, the release 8.03, and then you will have a procedure that tells you how to virtualize at 8.03. And then once you have virtualized in 8.03, it will tell you how to upgrade to the release 9. And finally, in the jump procedure, what we give you a recommendation is, what is the version that you need to upgrade to? Say, for example, the 6.14 release. And at 6.14, how do you do a jump upgrade where you can take that virtualized server, which is on 6.14, build it on an isolated environment, and then you upgrade to 9.12. And after you upgrade to 9.12, you need to rebuild the OVA so that you can then have your release 9 on this rebuild OVA, which is the virtual machine, the VM OVA. And then you should be good to go, because that's your upgrade. So what we do is, this simplifies the entire upgrade procedure. Why? Because we have given you all the steps that are needed in whatever environment or whatever scenario that is applicable to you. So Amit, what do you think?
Definitely, virtualization is a boon, and we should use it to maximize our redundancy in our networks, to build up a more, say, less of carbon footprint, which gets reduced by virtualization. So definitely we should be targeting at these new processes, okay, and we'll recommend, okay, with the CUCM 9 and 10.x, okay, that's where we go towards virtualization. So this is the best time you do your right investment and move towards a virtualized environment.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting. So can you elaborate more on the jump upgrade procedures and its benefits?
Sure. So the jump upgrade procedure is applicable to 4 releases. We have made it applicable to just 6.14, 6.15, 7.13, and 7.15. Now what we have done is, if you are a customer who is signed up to Drive to 9 program, the information is collected, and what happens is you get all the softwares that are needed in your put tool. Now once you get that particular software in your put tool, it enables you to now upgrade all the way to release 9. So for example, if you have your isolated network and you want to install 6.14 in your isolated network, it gives you the installable file for that. And that way you can install it on the virtualized environment, take your backup from your existing cluster. Remember, your existing cluster is working fine, people are using the cluster, they're making calls, the rest of the work is not impacted. So in your virtualized environment, then you take a backup and you do a restore. You reboot the cluster, because that's what is needed after a restore, and then you upgrade to 9.12. Before you upgrade to 9.12, you need to install a refresh upgrade file, which is a RU cop file version 1.2. Now once you do that, then you can safely upgrade all the way to 9.12. And once you have it upgraded to 9.12, then you need to rebuild the OVA into a 9.12 OVA, take a backup again of that particular release that you had upgraded, and then restore it back again. Now you're going to ask me, why do I do this, or most of the customers ask, why do I need to do this rebuild of the OVA? And the reason is so that we can reduce any issues because of partition alignment. Now what that gives you is, it gives you a fully running and a very stable release on the release 9 that you can now use to directly swap or bring into production. And the user phones just register to this new release, because remember, in the pre-upgrade task you had already upgraded the firmware. You don't have to do anything after that.
Okay. So the direct question is, when can I start using the jump upgrade?
So you can the jump upgrade procedure comes along with the release 9.12. So when 9.12 will be released at somewhere around the end of this month, you should be able to use the jump upgrade. Now one of the advantages of jump upgrade would be that you don't have to actually touch the production environment. You're completely building a parallel network, which is an isolated network, and you have all the information needed to build that network. For example, we tell you that you need to have your entire network replicated. Maybe your subscriber and publishers are in different subnets, so you need to replicate that in your environment. You need to have NTP servers. So we have really reduced the actual requirements for this isolated network, because it then simplifies things for you. And the best thing is that since you're not doing it in a service window, remember, I mean, if you're an administrator, I've been for quite some time, they'll always tell you, oh, on weekends, we've scheduled a downtime, and that's when you have to do all the thing. There is no pressure for you. You could do it in your regular 9 to 5 hours when work time, and build that server, take all the precautions, check it, everything is working, and then you can go for further and bring it to production. And what you can actually do till the time the jump upgrade is available, you could actually do the background work. You can plan what you need to procure. For example, do you need a UCS? Do you need to build a VM environment, a virtual environment? Do you need to have a backup or a service window policy? Do you need to schedule some kind of a downtime? The big aspect is that, do you need to upgrade any firmwares? You could do that right away. And once the software is available, you can then be ready to just upgrade, because that will cut down your actual time that you need to upgrade.
Right. Very well summed up, Viraj. And that's where our migration guides, I think, they come in picture. They're very detailed, and they have all this information which will help you to do a smooth migration. And I think the best thing about jump upgrade, as you mentioned, Viraj, is you can test all of your features on the newer release. So that way, you're not getting a surprise when you're actually cutting it over to a production system, to a live system. You have enough time available and enough resources available to check out everything. So I think that's a win-win situation for our customers, for partners. Reduces the stress, I'll say, nowadays, and as well as, like it gets easy on tech also.
Right. So I'm sure this question will come up. So how to get further help from Cisco?
Right. So as I mentioned previously, we are prepped up at different levels. So for partners, they can always reach out to PDI help desk if they need any suggestions or help in configuring implementation and design issues. Other than that, we always encourage customers to open up proactive cases if they're opening up a case using the web case tool, the service request tool, SRT. They can always select a new sub-technology, which is Drive to 9 upgrade. So that will direct the case or the service request to the right expert who's already aware of the complete Drive to 9 upgrade procedures, and will be the best suited person to help you out.
Thank you, Viraj, and thank you, Amit, for sharing your expertise with us. It was a great presentation. So hope this tech talk on simplified Cisco Unified Communication Manager upgrade procedures was useful to you, and we look forward to your feedback. You can send in your feedback using the comment section. You may also ask questions and collaborate via various social media channels that we have today, Facebook and Twitter. You can also catch us on YouTube, Google+, and LinkedIn. Goodbye, and thank you for watching.